Good afternoon. I'm Elizabeth Forehand, Class of 2020's Vice President, and it is my honor to welcome you all here today to celebrate the graduation ceremony for the Class of 2020. Today is a day we celebrate all that we have achieved through all that the world has thrown in our way. Congratulations to the graduates of the Class of 2020.
It is my pleasure to be able to introduce Jared Byrne. He has had to deal with many challenges in his years as the superintendent of Richland School District, but none quite like this year. We appreciate his leadership and guidance through this difficult time.
I would like to formally welcome you to this community celebration. Today is an important day for the Class of 2020. Today is the day we honor them by awarding them a high school diploma. Their diploma signifies to the world a degree of completion of their secondary school training and that they are now ready for college and career. Thank you to this community for their continued support of these students as they have grown and developed into capable adults. Next, I would like to recognize the school board for their service to the students and the families of the Richland School District. I would also like to thank the building administration, John Bosworth and Laura Sugleby, for their guidance and support of these students. In addition, I would like to thank the teachers and staff who had aided these students on their journey from elementary school all the way through today. I would also like to thank their guidance counselor, Melody Winnemaki, and class advisor, Jamie Jones, for their support and guidance. Most importantly, though, I would like to thank the Class of 2020 parents, guardians, and family. It is written in our district's belief statements that the parent of the students is their number one teacher. Therefore, parental involvement is key to achieving success at school. Now I only have one short statement to make directly to the Class of 2020. Stay hungry for knowledge, be tenacious in it, have an insatiable appetite for it, and have grit and persevere like you have done over these last few months. Thank you and congratulations to our seniors.
My name is Allison Stoltzman, and today I have the honor of introducing the RCHS Class of 2020 valedictorian, Gina Benson. Throughout her high school career, she has been involved in Key Club, Science Club, football and wrestling cheer, National Honor Society, Student Council, has been a class officer, and has been one of my best friends since kindergarten. Now, without further ado, let me introduce Gina Benson.
March 13th, 2020, our last day together in the halls, commons, classrooms, and at practices at Richland Center High School. For the superstitious among us, it was Friday the 13th. What happened to our activities the week prior to this date foreshadowed the rest of our year. Many of our senior lasts were being modified and then canceled. Suddenly, we wouldn't get to feel relieved after performing our forensics or solo ensemble piece and know that our hard work these past months paid off, or perform the swing choir dance that Sarah choreographed, making all of those Monday nights worth it, or singing with your team on the bus rides home, or getting ready with friends for prom only to wake up an hour after going to sleep to go to state student council, or even just socializing with your friends in the parking lot. That fateful day, we were called to an assembly. Our teachers were in a frenzy, trying to gather as many assignments as they could for the next few weeks because they thought, as many of us did, that Mr. Bosworth would announce we would no longer be attending school. However, he merely announced that the future was uncertain, but school would be continuing, unless further notice was given. Further notice arrived that Sunday night when we were shut down until April 6th, and then for the rest of the year. We missed out on a number of lasts, including a few that would also be firsts, including one last fun time with our class on the class trip, and walking down the elementary school halls in our caps and gowns and feeling the nostalgia of when we were there ourselves. Thankfully, we won't miss out on all end-of-the-year festivities. Thoughtful and creative parents and faculty have helped make our graduation a memorable one. The first edition was the senior parade on May 31st, our original graduation date. It was a beautiful day, seeing our classmates and being supported by the large turnout of Richland Center community members cheering us on. We also received many special and decidedly unique to a pandemic senior parting gifts. And now here we are on graduation day. We made it. We're finally, formally graduating from Richland Center High School. The word graduate comes from the Latin word gradus, which means a step towards something. Usually, during high school and college graduations, the focus is on the members of the graduating class who are taking a step in their lives to newer and bigger things. This year, however, we are not the only ones graduating. People all over the world are facing new and strange realities as the pandemic wreaks havoc on normality. Social distancing is the new norm, civil unrest is increasing, cities are being torn apart in many ways, and nations are no longer working together. Every citizen of the world is moving towards a different tomorrow, and unsettling as it may seem to move away from what is usual, we need to look for the positives. New policies and procedures that historically would have taken years to be approved are being implemented. New technology is rapidly emerging secondary to global urgency. And we, as one of the first generations to have grown up with technology, have a unique advantage in using this to problem solve. We can make improvements not only for our neighbors, but for our country and our world. In this time of uncertainty and change, we have the chance to make a real difference. Oprah Winfrey brought up an excellent point in her commencement speech to graduates of 2020 that I would like to reiterate now. She asked us to think about what our essential services would be. In today's society, we often think of essential workers as teachers, health care workers, food producers, and grocery store workers. But going forward, we need to ask ourselves what really matters to us. It is only when we are true to ourselves that we can be happy and make the world a better place. We need to consider how our words and actions affect others and try to be a part of the solution, not the problem. During our years at the Richland School District, we have had the privilege to learn from excellent, caring faculty. We have gained knowledge to help us with our future goals, and even though they have been significantly impacted by COVID-19, I have confidence that not only will we survive, but thrive. And finally, I would be remiss and untrue to myself if I did not take this opportunity to share a quote from the great Walt Disney. The founder of the professed happiest place on earth shared a motto very appropriate for our graduating class today. No matter how your heart is grieving, if you keep on believing, the dream that you wish will come true. From the movie Cinderella. It has been an honor to share this message and be a member of the RCHS class of 2020. The knowledge, friendships, and memories provide a strong base for the steps we take next. I can't wait to see how each person leaves their mark on this rapidly changing world. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Christian Hennessy, and today I have the honor of introducing you to Abby Ramish, the Salutatorian for the RCHS class of 2020. I've only known Abby for a couple of years, but she has become one of my best friends. She's one of the kindest and hardest working people I know. Abby is very active in clubs and sports, including Student Council, National Honor Society, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, an excellent track athlete, winning state as a junior, and she has accomplished all this while taking many, many AP classes. Please join me in welcoming Abby Ramish.
To say I struggled while trying to write this graduation speech would be the understatement of the decade, and possibly even the century. It seemed like an impossible task to try and compile the many emotions of our high school experience into a speech. I know you're all probably expecting a speech on the many losses brought by quarantine and how we dealt with these uncertain times, but I can't bring myself to dwell on what could have been or what should have been anymore. I think I can speak for us all in saying that the phrase, "we're all alone together," has developed a bitter taste, because in reality, it just isn't true. Yes, every person sitting here today was quarantined, but the thoughts, feelings, and emotions experienced during this time were unique to each person. Classmates. This year did not end the way we had expected it to, but to some, this early ending may have come as a relief. As shocking as that may sound to those deeply saddened by the outcome, it is the complete truth, and the reason for it lies in the fact that everyone experiences life differently. Some of you will look back on these past 4 years with nostalgia as you reminisce on the good old days. Some of you will look back on your high school career in a less favorable manner, and some will remember it as a stepping stone as you eagerly look towards the future. Despite these differing perspectives, there is a commonality among us all, and that is, we all learned from our own personal experiences. Regardless of how you will remember high school, we all learned valuable lessons from these 4 years. High school is more than a classroom. We learned how to deal with social situations. We learned from our friends. We learned how we want to be treated by people, and in return, that we must treat people that exact same way. We learned communication skills. We learned how to find our own path, even through times of adversity. And keeping this past year in mind, we experienced the importance of the phrase carpe diem, which if you were a part of Mrs. Clarson's AP Literature class, you would know it means to seize the day. As we step into this next part of our lives, whether it be continuing your education, entering the workforce, military enlistment, or travel, I hope you all take these lessons and experiences and expand upon them. I hope you don't dwell on what should have been or what could have been, but rather you take the moments you were granted and use them to keep being better. Keep finding out who you are as a person. Keep being an active part of society. Keep striving to find what makes you happy. Work hard towards your goals, because dreams without dedication remain meaningless thoughts. Stay ambitious, and remember to never feel badly if your life experiences don't coincide with the mainstream idea of what life should be like. It is your life. The fear of not fitting in should never prevent you from doing what makes you happy. I'd like to end by saying thanks to the many people who guided us along the way. From the class of 2020. Teachers, thank you. We know this year created an extremely difficult and stressful situation for you, but nonetheless, you continue to do your best to ensure we were doing well in our classes. You showed your support for us by taking time out of your day to create virtual memories to replace the times we missed. For the past 4 years, you have helped us navigate through life, and without you and your influence, we would not be where we are today. I would like to personally thank Mr. Johnson and Mr. Carlson. You both had an undeniable impact on my 4 years here, as well as my future plans. Thank you both for the constant encouragement and optimism. I would like to extend a formal apology to Mr. Byrne, simply because I know how terrible those videos of my band lessons were. So I'm sorry for that, and any physical impairments they may have caused. To my classmates, thank you for the experiences here at RCHS. I wish you all the best in years to come. Thank you.
I have the honor of introducing our keynote speaker. He is someone everyone knows by his encouraging smile and his welcoming voice. This person has played a big part in my life, from commercials for the St. Mary's Walk for Virtues to small chats about the upcoming softball season. This man has helped me improve my public speaking and encouraged me throughout my high school years. He always greets me by name, which is quite impressive due to the multitude of people he meets every day. I asked this person to speak for us today because the way he lives his life is an inspiration for all of us. There is nothing this man would not do for our community. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Rohn.
I'm honored to be given the privilege of participating in this ceremony today. I was really pleased when Kayla Wanless came to the studio several months ago and asked me if I would be willing. I realized then, as I do now, there are few opportunities greater than this, especially for an alum. So I thank you very much. To the class of 2020, I challenge you to live up to your name, class of 2020. The term 2020 expresses normal visual acuity measured at a distance of 20 feet. If you have 20/20 vision, You can see clearly at 20 feet what should normally be seen at that distance. If you have 2100 vision, it means that you must be as close as 20 feet to see what people with normal vision see at 100 feet. But having 20/20 vision doesn't mean that you have perfect vision. There's much more to it. And the same is true for you as a member of the class of 2020. I want to challenge you to not only have the vision to see what's ahead of you, but to see what's around you that others might miss, so that you see it for your benefit and theirs. And I challenge you to strive to see past what should be overlooked and to be able to focus on what must be seen. The first thing you see and we all see today is change. In previous years, commencement speakers would have urged you to go out and change the world. You, however, face a world that has already changed dramatically. And you may very well be asking the pertinent question, what can I change? Will there even be opportunities for change? Will the change I have a chance to make even survive in the world of unprecedented change today? And if I can't see the change that I want to create clearly, am I really willing to look for it? Your class motto is excellent, and it is so fitting for today. The future holds no promises, but rather mysteries and surprises. What you have learned will prepare you for both. I'm a fan of quotes. It's a chance to benefit from the wisdom and the insight of others. I want to share quotes from 4 different individuals to help me convey what I want to be able to share with you on this important day. Jim Rohn, an author whose work focused on success and happiness, said, "You must take personal responsibility. You cannot change the circumstances, the seasons, or the wind, but you can change yourself. That is something you have charge of." Given all we faced, I believe we also have to ask ourselves today, has the world changed me in the last few months? If it has, am I comfortable with where I'm at? And given this is being recorded in early June, who knows what additional changes may be a part of our lives by the time you see and hear this. But remember, you cannot change the circumstances, the seasons, or the wind, but you can change yourself. 2020 vision. It's looking in the mirror and being totally honest with yourself, seeing what anyone else can see from wherever they are. It's not pretending to be someone you're not, but changing yourself into the person you can be every day and living prepared. It's doing what's right. Doing what's right isn't always easy, and doing what's easy isn't always right. Oprah Winfrey wisely said, "Doing the best at this moment puts you in the best place for the next moment." It's really good advice for any moment, including this one. It reminds us the future begins and is always hinged on what we are doing now. It leaves me to believe that the most important challenge I can offer you today is to call attention to what you're thinking about right now and what you will do with the rest of this day so you can make the most of the rest of your days. I often ponder what it would be like to live in a world where people are truly thankful, not for what they have, not for what they can do, but for what they cannot do. 2020 vision in this area is a terrific asset, and it can be developed with practice. If you can fix your own car, you likely don't appreciate a mechanic quite so much. But if your car won't start and you don't have a clue, the man or woman who can fix it, get it started for you, is gold. It's the same for the family that raises my food on the farm, the person who gives me the right medicine, designs a bridge so I can safely cross without worry, builds my house, protects me and my property, helps me learn, teaches my grandchildren, guides me spiritually, keeps me healthy, make sure the lights are on. You get the idea. When I am thankful for what I cannot do, I gain an appreciation for everyone around me, while being an advocate for others who can make my life better. It reminds me that I'm no more important than anyone else, but no less important either. It takes the pressure off me, thinking I have to be able to do everything. It helps me remain humble, an attribute of great power and potential. And it's a perfect reminder of what Ken Blanchard said, none of us is as smart as all of us. It's the secret of teamwork, and it's a strategy that every member of this class can use to achieve your motto of being prepared for life's mysteries and surprises. I'm keenly aware that this ceremony is not what you envisioned at the beginning of this school year, but it may be the best example of your motto, the future holds no promises. I'm not going to say what I thought my future would be, but I will say 46 years after graduating from Richland Center High School, it's nothing that I thought it would be, but it's a whole lot better. And if I can start each day grateful for its opportunities, pick examples I wish to follow, make healthy choices, extend kindness, and be generous in saying, I'm sorry, and you're forgiven, my life will only be better. It was Wayne Dyer who said, the difference between flowers and weeds is judgment. Learn to recognize the flowers in your life. It takes practice, but you can do it. I've learned the people I admire the most and would like to be like are those who've been through some pretty tough times. They develop an ability to persevere. They can not only see the flowers, but they look for them. They can smell the flowers, and they appreciate the flowers' beauty. I'm not at the point where I wish for tough times so I can be a better person, but I hope I can maintain a positive attitude when the tough times roll around, which they do, and embrace and look for chances to learn and grow. The sound of a door closing is pretty similar, heard from either side. I encourage you to live your life hearing the door close, having walked through it, rather than having it shut in your face. There are so many people who have invested heavily to make sure that you're able to navigate open doors with your family and your teachers leading the way, to prepare you for the mysteries and the challenges that are ahead, all those surprises. Time will go faster than you can possibly imagine. That's why doing the best at this moment is so important for all the moments that are ahead for you, so that you're in the best place for every one of those moments. May you, the members of Richland Center High School class of 2020, have the vision to see what's really important and bring stability to a changing world. Vision tests are regularly recommended. Find someone you trust to hold you accountable. Make sure you're seeing what you should see, and make sure you're being who you should be, so that even though the future holds no promises, the mysteries and the surprises that are ahead of you will allow you to succeed and to flourish. Best wishes, RCHS class of 2020.
Good afternoon, students, teachers, staff, district administration, parents, family members, friends, community members, and most importantly, my fellow classmates, the class of 2020. We began high school as children, but are leaving as adults. It's been 4 long years for some, maybe short for others. But regardless, we are here and ready to graduate. We've worked hard to get here, but didn't do it by ourselves. We owe a huge debt of gratitude to the following people. To our teachers, thank you for so unselfishly sharing your time, talent, and knowledge with us. Yes, we know it was your job to do it, but you undoubtedly went above and beyond the call of duty. You explained assignments multiple times when we didn't understand, made sure we were ready for quizzes and tests,
allowed us to come into your classroom before and after school for extra help when you could have gone home and spent time with your family or have gotten an extra half hour of sleep in the morning. And most importantly, you have given us the correct tools to excel after high school. Thank you for pushing us to do our best and expecting nothing less. To our parents, thank you for your unconditional love, support, and encouragement throughout the years. Thank you for driving 1.5 hours to our sporting events or staying up until 9 p.m. to attend our band or choir performances and theater productions. Thank you for raising us to be the men and women we are today. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. To our coaches and advisors, thank you for teaching us life lessons that we couldn't have learned sitting in a classroom. Through our sports, clubs, plays, and concerts, we've made memories that will last a lifetime. Throughout the process, we've learned the importance of good sportsmanship, discipline, and hard work, all while having fun doing it. To our custodial staff and lunchroom attendees, thank you for keeping our school safe and clean so we could thrive in an amazing learning environment. To our principals, vice principals, and office staff, thank you for keeping things running smoothly so our teachers could focus on us. Thank you for being a smiling face in the hallway each day. To our guidance counselors, thank you for keeping us on track to graduate and helping us make decisions about our future, whether that's attending a 4-year college, technical school, or entering the workforce. I'd now like to share a poem with you that I came across recently while doing one of my final English assignments. It's titled The Next Chapter by Robert Longley. Where you find your courage is largely up to you. Many paths and choices for things that you can do. Choose a path with purpose you feel within your heart. God will guide you forward once your direction starts. There is no one right answer. Do what you feel is right. Pick the path that suits you and lets you sleep at night. Prepare now for your journey. Your obstacles await. It is you who writes your story and you who controls your fate. This was definitely not how any of us would have imagined the last 3 months of our high school career going. It ended so abruptly without a chance to say goodbye to some of the greatest days of our lives and the most important people in our lives. We had our last day of high school without even knowing it. We didn't get the chance to have our last spring sports season or our last band or choir performance. Most of us have either cried for hours because of what's happened or others have celebrated the fact that we didn't have to get up until noon each day. However this experience has affected you, it has prepared you in some way, shape, or form for whatever is in store for you in this next chapter of life. We are the future. People are counting on us. I challenge you to take whatever you have learned these last 4 years and do something great. Our future begins right here. It begins today. Thank you for coming, and I wish all of you, my classmates, the best of luck in whatever you do.